Hey, welcome back everybody. Another Soapbox Sunday here at Blue Glow Electronics. However, it is not Sunday. It is Friday, 4/10/2020, which is Good Friday, which means I'm on vacation today. Our company's on a holiday, so spending time here working in the basement all day today. Hopefully that'll net out maybe a couple videos or something for you guys. But any rate, just a little life update. I am still running this company in Toledo, Ohio. And but for the last 5 or 6 weeks, we have implemented a corporate travel ban. So I have been working from my basement. And you would think that would translate into a lot more bench time, but it really hasn't. Unfortunately, the onset of this pandemic, we manage 5,500 field techs that service things all across the nation, and another 500 or 600 corporate employees that we've all had to shift to working remotely, and as well as dealing with getting these 5,500 field techs in and out of the facilities they service. We do support critical infrastructure all across the nation, so still operating 100% at this point in time, but it's put a lot of load on leadership to kind of maneuver us through this change to putting the company working remote. Anyway, enough about that. The short and narrow is I'll probably be at home for another few months, is my guess at this point in time, until this is gone. And most of the heavy lifting is getting behind us at this point, so I am starting to be able to find a little time in the evenings. As you've probably seen in the last week, I've cranked out 2 videos, and if I can keep that up, hopefully we'll do that over the next few months. I'm going to get while the getting is good, as they would say. So anyway, let's dive on into some topics here. All right, topic number 1. I hope everyone out there, all my viewers, are doing okay. I'm greatly concerned about, friends, family, and my viewers. I consider you part of my extended family at this point in time. Gosh knows we spend enough time together here. Any rate, I just hope you're doing okay. I hope you haven't been impacted health-wise, and I hope you haven't been impacted job-wise. And if either one of those have been impacted, I hope the recovery is quick and things get back to normal. My family, I've gotten an outpour of emails from you guys asking how I'm doing, wishing me well. Doing fine. No one in my family's been severely impacted in any way, shape, or form. So we are doing okay, trying to stay that way. I feel like I've post this heart attack and post having cancer in 2014. I'm one of those individuals that falls into the might not do so well if I got this virus scenario. So I'm really socially distanced right now, trying to hang out here on the farm and go out as little as humanly possible. So anyway, hope everybody's doing okay. Hats off to everybody. I know these are tough times, and I hope everybody's doing okay. And I say hats off because I'm having to wear a hat because my hair is beyond what you guys would want to see. Last time I had wings coming out of my hair on the hat on the side like this, I think I was a pitcher on a baseball team in probably 1970 something or another. So it's been a while. Yes, I need a haircut. All right, this totally slipped past me in my months of hiatus while onboarding with this new role, but we not only hit 20,000 viewers, we're up to 21,500 viewers. So I just want to say thank you. I got a lot of loyal viewers out there watch my videos, seem to enjoy them, and I just wanted to give a shout out for this 21,500 of you that have signed up to watch everything that we post out here. So thanks, everybody. All right, quite frequently I get emails from viewers asking me, hey Mark, could you send me a parts list for a Marantz 2245? I'm just making up the model. I get the question about everything from Pioneers to you name it, okay? Could you send me a parts list so I can order all the parts and go in and do a recap for this unit? Or sometimes I even get a question, could you sell me an entire capacitor kit, right? So I thought I would address the question of why don't I maintain a parts list for these pieces of vintage gear, and why do I not make these kits and sell them on eBay? Okay, well, if it was that easy, I would do it. Trust me, there'd be a ton of money to be made on eBay selling parts list, because you can buy these capacitors in large bulk, very small prices. You can make be good money to be made there. Here's why I don't do it, okay? I'll give you an example. Marantz 2245, okay? I know for a fact there are at least 3 variations over time as that unit was produced of components and boards in those units, okay? So you may have an early model, a mid-model, a late model, and even within that, there may be some variations, okay? And then you multiply that times all the different models that are out there. The numbers of kits and parts list I would have to maintain would get exponential. And then I'm not an expert at, I don't know exactly what serial number model 2245 shifted from version 1 board to version 2 board to version 3 board. So if you don't get the right kit, you don't get the right parts. In other words, you'd get my list or you'd buy my kit. You go to install it and you would have problems, or you would have parts left over and then you would still need to go order more parts. And so it's the reason that I don't make these lists. It's the reason I don't use these lists. It's not like I've got these lists and they're my super secret and I'm not sharing them with anyone and I'm going to use them for myself and it's my competitive advantage. No, I don't maintain such lists because they would be wrong, okay? So I do the like for like swap out. All right. If you want to take the simple route on this, do it. And you don't have all the parts like I do. Okay. So the way I do it, I pull out a 50 microfarad at 16 volt capacitor out of a unit. First off, I mark the board to know which side was positive or negative. Why do I do that? Because the boards are wrong some of the times. I know specific examples on specific Pioneer and Marantz and Sensui units where the boards are marked wrong. And so if you pull it out and you put it back in according to the board, you just installed the capacitor backwards and yes, you're going to have problems. So I pull the component out after I've marked it. I go over to my parts bin. I pull out a 50 microfarad at 16 or higher voltage. You can put in a 20, a 25, a 50 volt cap. As long as it physically fits. Higher voltage, always a good thing. Cap will run cooler over time, okay? But if you don't have a parts bin full of all these variations of parts like I've built up over time, then what you do is you pull your piece of gear out, you hold it up with a magnifying glass and a flashlight, and you sit there for an hour and you read each component and you make yourself a list. And when you get done, you go to Mauser or DigiKey or wherever else and you order all of your components. They'll come in, you'll install them, you'll have the right ones, and it won't take you that long. I promise you, it's an hour of your life and it'll make your life much simpler. But I just, I hope people understand. I got this email response this last week. Normally I get this email and people are asking why I don't do these kits. And normally my response is, sorry, I don't maintain such a list. Thanks, Mark. And I usually get responses back that say something to the effect of, oh, sorry to hear that, but thank you anyway, whatever, right? This week, I got one where an individual basically, not so nice way, cussed me out. He called me a backyard electrician who's just on YouTube to show off and not really here to help anyone. And that's not far from the truth. Look, if I could make these lists and they would be simple, I would use them. Number 2, I would give them to you guys for free for you to use them. But the fact that it is far from a science and far from anything that would even be close to 100%, I would be providing you a disservice by doing this. So it's why I don't do it. And it's really not me out to be vengeful or to hoard all this knowledge. Trust me, if it was easy, I would be doing it. Trust me, I'd be giving you guys lists. I'd be selling kits on eBay. You could just order them and boom. That's why you don't see a lot of these on eBay. And the ones that are out there, if you buy them, you got to be careful. You're going to find out of the 80 components you go to install, 3 of them are wrong. And if you don't catch those 3, you've got problems. Then you're going to be sending me an email saying, hey, Mark, I recapped my unit, but it doesn't play now. Could I send my unit to you and get some help? I get those emails too, trust me. But at any rate, all right, I just thought I'd explain this and I'll jump off my soapbox and on to the next topic here. All right, up next, while I've been working on conference calls and video chats remotely, sometimes I can double task if I'm not leading the meeting, and I've been spending a little bit of time Just sorting through parts here on my desk, putting values in stacks and whatnot. Just trying to get the bench and shop cleaned up a little bit. But anyway, these were some things that I found at Hamfest over the last year. And I don't even really remember which Hamfest I found these at. Maybe they were in a video, but I don't remember at this point. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you a little bit of what I've been sorting through here. So here is a box of silver mica caps that I found. And as you can see here, I paid $10 for this box of caps. And I sorted them all out. And here, as you can see, I got a lot of different values. And these are really good ones. A lot of these are 200 volt, 400 volt, 500 volt silver mica caps. And back in the day, these things were cheap. But you go look at the prices of these nowadays on eBay. A pair of like 68 picofarad at 400 volt silver mica caps will cost you $5 or $6 on eBay nowadays. And so, if I do the math here on what's laying on my table, it's in the hundreds and hundreds of dollars easily here. And I snagged this for $10. So anyway, let's look at the next batch here. I walked up on a gentleman's table and literally crammed underneath of it was a 5-gallon bucket, about half full of parts here. And I asked the gentleman, I said, what's the deal with these parts down here? And he basically, these were his words. Oh, those are, as I stripped old chassis for the things I wanted, those are just components I cut out of them over the years. They may be good, they may be not. If you need some of them, take them. And I said, what are you asking for me? He's like, no, if you need a part or two, take it for free. I said, well, what would you take for the whole bucket, And he was like, I don't know. And so I don't remember. 10 or 20 bucks I gave him for the bucket. And it was mostly electrolytic capacitors that honestly, I'm not going to reuse because they're probably old and had been in use before or whatnot. But my eye caught a few pieces there. And let me show you what turned out here. There were quite a few here, as you can see. Old paper and oil hermetically sealed capacitors, and these things are super hard to find these days, even if you can, and when you do, they're kind of expensive, just depending on the value and the voltage and whatnot. But these things are getting harder and harder to find, and they're getting highly sought after. You used to could find the Russian paper and oil stuff really easy. Even those have gotten super scarce these days. But there's a lot of vitamin Qs here, various brands and whatnot. But I also found a lot of just power resistors in there, and I saved those along with some rectifiers, full wave rectifiers. Tested those; they tested good. So all in all, I got my money, and it was worth the time and energy to sort through all that. And I had fun. I love this. It's kind of the thrill of the hunt. It's like finding treasure. You just never know what may be down inside the bottom of that bucket. So I had a lot of fun with that. But I did want to show you guys, and I don't know how clearly you can see this, but there are a lot of capacitors that look like the old paper and oil hermetically sealed. But when you get to the ends, they're not glass, they're rubber, and these are not what you're after. Those hermetically sealed paper and oils, they last forever, and they are extremely high quality. They're probably some of the best coupling caps ever made. But there's a lot of stuff here that looks just like it, but when you dig in, nope, got a rubber end on it. Looks just like one, nope, got a rubber end on it. Pay close attention when you're looking at these. Some of these will even be branded, like this is a Mallory here, which I don't know that Mallory ever made paper and oils, but it's rubber on both ends here. I did have one here I wanted to show you though. Oh yeah, this is a Sprague. You might think it's a vitamin Q till you get to the end of it, and there you go again with the rubber. But I found a lot of examples that where I thought I found gold and it turned out to be pyrite instead, and had the rubber ends on them. So anyway, just pay attention when you're looking for capacitors that they truly are the hermetically sealed with the glass sealed ends or whatnot on the ends. And so anyway, let me show you one more thing. All right, some of this old advertising, this is a box of capacitors I found. You can see I had this little white sticker in here, box for $5. I picked it up. I love the advertisement on it here, though. It says, for the sweetheart in your life, here's a sweetheart of a deal. And up top it says, for your wife, mother, sister, your sweetheart. And it's got kind of a lady dancing here, and it kind of goes into talking about, first quality nylon hose free you get with this. 51 gauge, 15 denier, $5 value plus you get this box of capacitors. Dealer special, $14.95 net cost complete. $31.25 list price, capacitors only. So you're getting some panties and some capacitors in this box. At any rate, as I open the box up here, as you can see, there's a bunch of brand new. These are the pyramid type 3 capacitors. Don't know if anyone's got any use for these, but they're basically wax paper type capacitors, and so probably not of any real value. But there are some old Aerovox capacitors in here that I found. So I think this is a mixture of the original, what was in this box originally, plus some other stuff somebody's added into it over time. But I just couldn't leave it laying there. I spent the $5 just for this advertising piece. I may frame this and put it up somewhere. It's that cool. So the other day I was cruising through Facebook and I saw this picture in a little Facebook group posted, and it's a picture of a Type 71 preamp, and I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. You basically have one for each. It's just being used as a kind of a gain stage preamp here. And so anyway, I went out here and I kind of followed the link that it took me to, and it took me to this website, which is stereo.net.au. It's an Australian stereo forum, and this guy showed, the insides of it, showed the schematic of it and how he had built it or whatnot. And by the way, this has a external power supply that provides the connector here, so it's a 2-box setup. But at any rate, it's a cool unit. But I was not aware of this stereo.net.au forum, and I started spending some time on it. There's some really cool stuff on here. I mean, lots of people and their projects kind of posting what they've been building and whatnot. They're just a lot of cool stuff. And I found it to be a kind of like another, Audio Karma or DIY audio kind of site that I just was not aware of. So, and there's a lot of tube guys on here. So, stumbled into something new. I just thought I'd point it out to you guys. All right, you guys may have remembered a while back I talked some about this Quantasylum QA401 audio analyzer here. Bought this brand new. Can't remember what I paid. I want to say $400-500 for this. And then the Quantasylum also sent me one of their new QA450 programmable loads for it, which, by the way, this one says on top, prototype not for sale. Any rate, I've came to the conclusion after watching these collect dust for the last year that I'm going to part ways with them. So if anyone is interested in them, you can find my email on my website and just send me an email about them. I have not spent a lot of time with these, so I cannot guide you on how to use them effectively, but I know a lot of people are using these as a kind of audio analyzer type device, and they continue to develop. I'm a member of their software update list or whatnot. I get emails about regular software updates all the time for these things. But honestly, I'm just coming to the realization I have too many projects and not enough time, and so rather than let these sit there for 5 years and get out of date and whatnot, I'd rather for somebody to make use of these. So if you or anyone that has a use for these, ping me and I can try to make you a decent deal on them. All right, on to the next one. If people don't mind, I'm going to use my Soapbox Sundays from time to time to post some items I have for sale, because I am trying to start thinning out the herd. If I don't start now, if I live another 20 or 30 years, it'll take me that long. Anyway, got a really nice Syncor SG165 AM FM stereo analyzer. I haven't used this one in about 10 years, something like that, 8 years, but it does work well. and the unit's in super nice shape. It does have along the top here, and it's hard to see in the metal here, but someone had etched maybe a serial number at some point in time. The back side of it here, you open it up here, does have a power cord, does have some of the connectors here, has a piece of coax that I use to plug into 300 ohm here, and it also has a little balun in there for that as well. It is missing, because I ended up using them on another unit, it is missing the the 39G43 matching pad and the 39G45 demodulator. You can buy those on eBay. A guy sells them, a pair of them, for $65. And so you'd have to buy this unit and those for $65. Anyway, these units, I'm seeing them on eBay right now, anywhere going from like $200 and some dollars, $250 up to $600. You see them a little bit all over the place, and maybe that some of that depends on whether they've got all the probes and connectors and whatnot. But this has everything except for those two that you would need for the $65. Anyway, I would like to get $300 plus shipping for this. If somebody's interested in it, because I know it works, and I know it was when I last used it 10 years ago, it was in great shape and working well. So anyway, if anybody's interested, hit me up. If not, it'll sit here. All right, next topic. All right, our last topic here. I actually have a long list of Soapbox Sunday topics here to share with you guys, but instead of putting them all in one video and making it an hour long, I think I'll just save some. Try to keep these around 20 minutes or less, and I'll just spread the content out over the next few virtual Sundays here. All right, the final topic here is the new camera software I'm using. It's something from Logitech. What's it called? Logitech Create or something like that. It's some software they made to match up with their desktop cam for YouTubers, and it's really cool actually. But I think it does a much better job of capturing my one-on-one conversations with you here in 1080p, and without it being blurry, and the frame rate seems to be good, and exposure seems to be good. Sound quality seems to be working out. I might have had it a little high in the beginning of some of this video. I've been bumping it down as I've gone along in the video, and if I need to bump it further, the volume, tell me. But give me some feedback on this. Having fun making videos. Hope to get back to this, and hate this pandemic thing we've got going on right now, but if there's a bright side to all things, at least I'm getting a little bit of bench time and quality time on video with you guys. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being one of my 21,500 viewers, and next time I'm going to celebrate is when we hit 25,000 viewers. That one's worth a party, so stay tuned. Thanks, everybody.